gazillion here on The Bachelorette. And in today's episode, before we even get started with it, I have a very, very important question to ask you. Before you answer it, I want you to think, very long and hard about your answer. The question is, will you, yes, you, accept this rose? Okay, great, perfect. For the month of February, the month of love, as some call it, I thought to myself that I should do love themed videos, and this month's videos are going to be chilled, sit down videos. Anyway, in today's video we're going to be sitting down and talking about something love related. Guess what? I was scrolling through my social media, and since it's the month of love, everything that I happen to run across on my feed is love themed. So as I was scrolling, I came across someone who was saying that there are a list of 36 questions that someone had developed, and then they ran an experiment using these 36 questions. They took two random strangers, a girl and a boy. They put them in a room and asked them each. They asked each other. The boy asked the girl, and the girl asked the girl, boy, these 36 questions. And they went about their life, and then 36, and then 6 months later, or 9 months, I'm not quite sure, they fell in love, got married, had kids, and lived happily ever after. So others say these are the 36 questions you should ask someone before you take it to the next step of spending the rest of your life with them. And I was like, that's interesting. That's interesting. And so I was like, how can I make a video about something of that nature? And I have a big imagination, so I said, you know what? How about I ask you these questions, and then you ask me these questions. So that's exactly what today's video is all about. I'll be answering these questions for you, and hopefully you can answer the same questions for me in the comment section. So this is now between us, me and you watching at home, and it's a great way for us to get to know each other, you know what I mean? So I hope you will enjoy watching today's video, and without further ado, let's get call it. So yeah, and I'm even themed. I'm wearing this red and white, Valentine's Day dress of mine. And these earrings, I got these earrings from Lovisa for free. I had bought other earrings or jewelry that I buy for filming my videos, and they gave me these for free. They gave me these for free, and they have a rose on them. Hopefully you can see the rose. They have a red rose, and I'm wearing a red and white dress. It just makes sense. So now let us ask each other these 36 questions. Where are we? Shh. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? Do you hear that? It says 36 questions that may lead to love. They may lead to love. Okay, 36 questions. What are they? Okay, I think I should start from the beginning, or should I start from the questions? It says almost 20 years ago, psychologist, author Aaron and colleagues conducted research to explore whether it was possible to help strangers create closeness and develop a relationship by asking a series of specific personal questions. I'm scared. I'm scared because I feel like I tend to overshare on my videos. I'm like, oh, I think I overshared. But there's some people like, if we would like to get to know you better, make more of this kind of videos. But I'm like, but I overshare that things. I'm like, you don't deserve to know that. You don't deserve to know that. But anyway, we'll see. Okay, the idea is that mutual vulnerability through self-disclosure fosters closeness and has an impact on process of building a relationship. I don't like being vulnerable on the internet. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable with other people, it fosters closeness. Okay. Sustained, escalating, reciprocal, personal self-disclosure is fundamental to the development of a close relationship. The 36 questions are broken into 3 sets with a gradual increase in the intensity of self-disclosure. Okay, before we start, after reading this, I just want to say, we listen, we don't judge. We listen, we don't judge. Once again, we listen, we don't judge. Okay, great. Where was I? The couple takes turns asking questions over a period of 90 minutes. So if you are meeting someone for your first date or wanting to build a greater intimacy in a relationship, consider giving it a try. The research found these 36 questions are more effective than small talk in building closeness in the relationship and may lead to love too. Okay, now let's get started. Okay, before getting married, I'll make sure that I ask these questions to the person I'm about to marry, just on top of the ones that I want to ask, I'll add these ones too. Okay, let's start with set number 1. Set number 1 says, question number 1, given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest? Okay. Okay. I know that this question answer might sound corny or something like that, but I would say Jesus Christ. I would love, to just have a sit down with him. But debatably speaking, one would say you are with him all the time. He's with you. He didn't leave you, He left you with the Holy Spirit so you can talk to him all the time and whatnot. But I hope you get what I mean. But if it would be not God, but someone, dead or alive, that I happen to know, it would obviously be my father, because he left, just like that. I thought he would live to be 100, and I did not see this happen. Every day it felt like it's a prank that is happening. Someone will saying, got you, here he is. So I would just say, just one last hug and just like one last I love you to my dad. That would be my dinner date. And then the second question says, would you like to be famous? In what way? I would say I would love to be famous for my field of study, the field of science that I'm in. Like the same way Einstein is, the same way, you can imagine a scientist just having an apple fall on their head, and they're like, you know what, there's something called gravity, and then they get famous for saying this gravity. So I would love to get famous for something in my field. And yeah, and me and my supervisor, for one of our studies that we did, our last chapter, we actually developed a formula for calculating something, and I would love that to be one of the most groundbreaking work that I've ever done. We're in the process of publishing that last chapter, because we're publishing each and every single chapter that we have. I had 8 chapters. The last chapter, which is the 8th chapter, was just like the conclusion of everything. So I would love, like the last chapter, which was chapters number 7, to be groundbreaking for what we were developing. So yeah, I'd love to be famous for that. And then after that, question number 3 says, before making a telephone call, do you ever rehearse what you are going to say? Why? No. Who am I calling? I don't rehearse telephone calls. If I'm calling somebody, I know what I'll be talking to them about. So it would be weird for me to rehearse a phone call, because I don't know what they're going to say back to me and what I'm going to say back to them. But let's say if the phone call is an interview, like a job interview, then it's via phone call, then I would rehearse. And by rehearse, I mean I would go through a list of generic questions that interviewers normally ask, and just read a couple of things about the company, so I can be prepared if they ask about the company, or they ask anything that's generic when it comes to interviews. But if I'm calling somebody, like a friend of mine, my mom, anything, I don't rehearse that. That'd be weird. No. But for job interviews, or if I'm going to be making a presentation somewhere, then I would go through my slides to make sure that I stay within, like, let's say 20 minutes. If I'm given 20 minutes, that I don't exceed the 20 minutes, because I respect time, my time and other people's time. I think it's quite selfish for those people who take way over the time that they're given. Just stay within your time. So yeah, I'd say that. And then question number 4 says, what would constitute a perfect day for you? A perfect day for me would be a day that I spend with my loved ones, just doing nothing, just having fun with my family. For example, if we're sitting at home, just sitting in the living room and just telling like funny stories about past experiences that we've had together, and just laughing together as a family. That to me is fun. And I love last December we usually go to the beach, but this past December we wanted to do something different, something exciting. So I don't know what that place is called, but we went to a marine world, not Shaka Marine World, with an indoor like swimming place for kids, and there are slides. There are a lot of like fun things to do, like a water park. We went to a water park. Hopefully that's it. What's it called? There are slides, there are things like the fun things to get your adrenaline pumping. I did that with my family, and when we got back home, we were busy laughing about. Do you remember when we went to that cube? It was so dark, and the velocity was like, whoosh. It was like we were laughing about it. That to me, this past December was, it was fun. Just to combine the things that I love, being out in the water and also making memories and laughing about it with my family. That's what I love. That to me was a perfect day. And then after that, when did you last sing to yourself or to someone else? I love to sing, you guys. I love to sing, but I can't sing. I can't sing to save my life, but I love to sing. So I sing to myself all the time. I could be listening to something, or I could be doing something, and then just a random song hits me. To make a practical example, before filming this video, I was singing this song. Since I woke up this morning, it was just stuck in my head, and it's a Xhosa song. It says, Haya ndimbonanga, ofana naye, Haya ndimbonanga, ofana naye, ofana no Jesu, Haya ndimbonanga. It's a song that we used to sing at school in the morning in assembly. There was this lady who would sing the song. She was also like a student. She would sing the song in the most beautiful, beautiful, beautiful way when I was still in primary in assembly. And it just got stuck to me in my head this morning, and I was singing it the entire time. And I went on YouTube music to just look it up so that I could sing it, and as I'm like typing it out so that I can sing it, when I play the songs, they are not singing it in the chant that I want it to be sang in. They are singing it in the chant that says hi 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 ndimbo nanga hi 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 ndimbo nanga ageko ofana naye. I don't like that chant. To me, the chant that I love is the one that say, the one that I was practically singing to you. Haya ndimbonanga ofana naye. Haya. It's such a beautiful song. I love it, and I absolutely love singers who take me on a roller coaster ride. Those are my kind of favorite singers. If I were to make a generic example, like using people that everyone would know, I would say my favorite kind of singers are the ones, Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston. I love them. And if I were to choose someone from my generation, I would say Demi Lovato is an amazing, amazing singer, but she is so underrated. But I really love her when she sings. She can sing, in my opinion. I also love Hailey Bailey. If I want like a child song, but that still takes me like on a roller coaster ride, I definitely listen to her. But my all-time favorites are definitely Kayam Tedwa and Ntokozo Mbambo. Amazing. They take me to heaven every time they sing. And then question number 6. If you were able to live to the age of 90 and retain either the mind or a body of a 30-year-old for the last 60 years of your life, which would you want? That's such a difficult question. I think I would want the mind of a 90-year-old and the body 30-year-old. The reason why is because I wouldn't want my mind to be stuck at 30. I would want to grow. I love learning something new. I love being surrounded by people who teach me in one way or another. And living to a 90, that means I get to grow my mind. And I know someone might debate and say, your mind might deteriorate. But me experiencing the deterioration is still growth because I get to experience that. But the body, of course, you want to keep, your body 30. I'd say that. That's why, because I want to grow and experience the mind. Like, I think mental growth is more important to me than physical growth. So that's why. And question number 7. Do you want a secret hunch? Okay, do you have a secret hunch about how you want to die? What? No, I don't. I actually want, no, I don't. I want it to be a surprise. I just want it to be a surprise. But if I were to pick, I would obviously want to die in the old age. I just sleep next to my spouse and then we peacefully die together in bed in our old age. That would be how I would want to die at an old age, and just, peacefully sleeping. That would be a good way for me. And then number 8, name 3 things you want and your partner. What? Name 3 things you and your partner, the person you are dating, appear to have in common. What do we have in common? I think that what we have in common is that you guys love to learn. You always love it when I drop some knowledge, and I'm someone who always is willing to learn, and you love it when I drop the knowledge, and I love it when you guys give me video ideas based on some of the topics that I covered. Like, oh, I love that topic. Oh, I love how you covered that. But could you add this and this and this and this and this and that to your next video? You are outside of the box thinkers. Sometimes I could just be walking by and then I get a video idea of what I want, and I'm original with my ideas, all that. And you guys are also, I could be talking about something and you just get a little pinch based on what I talk about, and then you say, you know what, could you make that an entire video? You're also outside of the box thinkers, and that's what I like about you. You're willing to learn, I'm willing to learn, and you are just, the ASMR community is the best community ever. So I love that about you. I love it. And based on your comments, it also seems like you also guys love it when I drop some knowledge. So yeah, thank you for that. And number 9, for what in your life do you feel most grateful? For what in your life do you feel most grateful? I mean, to me, this is not even a question. I am grateful for my family. I am grateful for my family. There are people who come from the most toxic, vile families ever. I'm grateful that I come from a family that I come from. A family that taught me respect, that taught me love. But above all, they taught me to fear God. I love it. And they taught me in the most beautiful way, not in a forceful way. They taught me in the most beautiful way, such that even if I'm not in front of my family, I'm like far away. They're not even there to witness it. I still have those principles instilled in me. It's because I was not performing or just doing it for them, because they taught me in the most beautiful way that makes sense, so that even if I'm not in front of them, I still have those principles instilled in me. So I'm grateful for that, very much grateful for that. For example, I remember when I was in Japan, because I'm doing it for people. To me, I still said no, because it's who I am, not what I'm faking to be. So my parents taught me to be who I am and love Jesus, and I'm really grateful for that. And I don't suffer from Bazodina Bantu syndrome. That's such a beautiful thing to have, not to suffer from Abantu Bazodini syndrome. Imagine there's someone watching this is like, they're like, what is Abantu Bazodini syndrome? I don't suffer from the fear of what are people going to think of me? What are people going to think of me? I do my own thing and I don't give a flying fish about it. As long as it makes sense to me and it's not something bad, I do it. For instance, starting my ASMR channel, there were a lot of people, when I started my channel, right, I would post on my Instagram. By the way, you can follow me on my Instagram, Saif_M. So when I started my channel, I would post on my Instagram stories, please guys, please follow me on my YouTube. My channel name is African Xhosa ASMR, and people did not follow me at all. And the ones who did check out my videos, they're like, why the hell are you whispering? They made jokes about me whispering on the internet. They were laughing about it. It was just so fun for them to make fun of me. They were like, oh my goodness, look at her, she was busy like overseas, and now that she came back from overseas, she is busy sitting at home in the village whispering on the internet and making fun about that. And they were laughing about it, and they would send each other like my clips of me whispering, and they would laugh. But guess what, I continued doing what I'm doing, and I was stuck at 100 subscribers for 8 months. And I continued to do my thing. As I continued doing my thing and doing my thing and doing my thing, I once posted a post on my Instagram saying thank you for when I hit, I think, is it 30 or 50 subscribe, 50,000. And then the same people who didn't want to subscribe to my channel, like, oh, you're growing, what's the name of your channel so that we can subscribe? And that's the minute I realized that, you know what, I don't want people who have not subscribed to subscribe to my channel. If you find my channel by chance and then you subscribe to it, then that's okay, but I'm not gonna give them the name of my channel now, because if you didn't know me then, don't know me now, honey. So that's what I ended up doing. So if you follow me on my Instagram, you might notice that every time I post something related to my channel, I don't mention the name of my channel, because I don't want those same people who were laughing at me. That's basically it. So I continued despite people laughing at me, because I was like, there's nothing wrong with whispering on the internet. If I get to help people fall asleep, if I get to help people, you know, whilst I'm also still dropping some knowledge about my continent, breaking stereotypes, educating others, there's a bigger thing that I'm doing, far bigger than people laughing at me, and I should continue doing it, because I believe in me, and that's all I need. Me believing in me despite those laughing at me. So yeah. And then if you could change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be? I wouldn't change. I know it sounds corny to say this, but I wouldn't change anything about the way I was raised. I absolutely love the way I was raised. I was raised by two parents who were way emotionally intelligent. Guys, when people speak about emotional intelligence, my parents are very emotionally intelligent, and I'm very grateful for that. And the reason why I wouldn't change anything is because their emotional intelligence taught me a lot, and a lot of things. To make an example, very emotionally intelligent. And this one thing that my father would always used to say, my kids, you are very blessed. My kids, you are very blessed. And to me, it didn't make sense, because I was like, as a kid, I was like, what does he even mean by that? Because we're not wealthy and we don't have fancy things, we don't go fancy places like other people, like other families. But as I grew up, I got to realize that having materialistic things doesn't necessarily mean that you're happy, despite us not having all these materialistic things, not growing up in a mansion, not being wealthy, going to private school. This one thing that we had was a loving family, and you can't buy that. Despite how much wealth you might have, you can never ever buy a loving, healthy, functional family, which is something that I have, that I'm always grateful for. So I wouldn't change a thing. So I wouldn't change anything about the way I was raised, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. And question number 10 says, if you could change anything, okay, I'm repeating that. Question number 11 says, take 4 minutes to tell your partner your life story in as much detail as possible. Well, funny enough, I had made over an hour-long video for you guys, telling you my life story from the time I was born up until the time that video was published. I think I published it in 2023, I think. So if you want my life story, you should definitely check out that video. I was very vulnerable in that video, and I bet it all, telling you about my life story. Definitely check it out. It's a great video. I'm gonna put it somewhere here. Do you see it? Do you see that video? Do you see it? Do you see it? Awesome, great, perfect. Question number 12. If you could wake up tomorrow having gained any one quality or ability, what would it be? Quality or ability? If it's something, I would say teleportation. I would like to teleport. There are times I wish I could just get there like that, get there like that, get there like that. So if I were to gain an ability, it would be to teleport. I wish that would be my superpower, just to teleport. I hate sitting on a bus and sitting on a plane to get somewhere. If I could and I'm there, that would be amazing. If a crystal ball could tell you the truth about yourself, your life, and your future, or anything else, what would you want to know? About myself. I love the mystery of life. So about myself, I wouldn't want to know anything. I love the way life is set up to anything and everything is a surprise. I love the surprise of it all. So I wouldn't change anything about me. But about life itself, what would I want to know? I would want to know when exactly, like the day and time when Jesus is coming back. I would want to know. Or maybe I would want to know the day and time exactly when I'm gonna die. No, I wouldn't want to know that, because I would leave like, oh, that day is coming. No. I would want to know about resurrection. When is it going to be? And question number 2, I would say, question number 2 in the second set says, is there anything that you've dreamed of doing for a long time? Why haven't you done it? you guys, if you watch my videos all the time, you would know that one thing I've dreamt of doing, there are two things that I've mentioned in in my videos that I've always dreamt of doing. The first one, I've always dreamt of scuba diving, and I was this close to scuba diving, but my friend was like, oh, we should go there together, we're gonna do it together, just wait for me, we're gonna do it together. Till this day, I'm waiting for my friend for us to go scuba diving. Give me a minute, I'm just thinking about it. I was this close to getting a free scuba diving opportunity, but my friend said we're gonna do it together, but we still haven't done it. And scuba diving is very expensive. So I'm waiting for another free opportunity because I can afford to do it. The second thing is, I've always mentioned that I would love to go to the Bahamas. And in one of my videos where I've mentioned that I would love to go to the Bahamas, one of you guys said, girl, have you seen Fiji? I think you would love it too. You know me so well because I googled Fiji. It looks like paradise. It's so magical. Oh my god. So I would love to go to Fiji. That's my second wish. I would love to go to Fiji or the Bahamas. But if I don't get that opportunity, I'm gonna go to Zanzibar. If I don't get those opportunities, I'm waiting for my honeymoon to be in either Fiji or the Bahamas, depending on our ability to afford. Hopefully I marry somebody, with our joint salaries, we can be able to afford, so that we can go there on our honeymoon. But if we don't get an opportunity to go there, we're gonna go to Zanzibar, the island of treasure. So we're gonna go to Zanzibar. If we don't get to go there, why haven't I done it? Because I can't go there alone. I need to go with someone. So for me, it makes sense if I were to go with somebody. It's a honeymoon because it's a dream place of mine to go, and I would love to make memories with my spouse. So I'm just waiting. So yeah, I would say that. Those are the place, and that's the reason why I haven't gone there yet. And then the next question says, what is your greatest accomplishment in life? What is my greatest accomplishment in life? My PhD. Yeah, it's sad, but my PhD. And then 4 says, what do you value most in your relationship? My relationship with you, what I value the most is the respect that we have for each other. I respect other people, and I really love it when they respect me as well. You respect me and I respect you. So I really value that. We respect each other. So thank you for that. And then number 5, what is your most treasured memory? Is it sad for me to say that the best is yet to come? I don't have a memory that I'm like, this is the best memory of my life. Yet I feel like that day is still yet to come. I'm still yet is your most terrible, terrible memory? Till this day, the most terrible, terrible memory of my life is the day I got a phone call in the evening, receiving the news that my dad has passed. My God, I'm gonna cry. Okay, let me just stand here. That was the most terrible day of my life. It was at night on a Sunday, and I got a call from this lady who was my mentor from church, and they were at my house, and they called me from my house, and I could hear people singing in the background. And she asked me this other question, and I answered her. And then it was about my dad. And then she said, "Yeah, your dad is no longer with us." And it was really sad for me. And it was the most horrible, horrible day of my life. The next question, which is question number 7, says, question number 7 says, if you knew, my stomach is growling, if you knew that in 1 year you would die suddenly, oh my God, would you change anything about the way you are living now, and why? Yes, I would. What I would change is I would leave everything that I'm doing right here, right now, and go back home in the Eastern Cape to be with my family, because I know I'm gonna die in a year. So I would just spend that year with my family at home, bonding with them, making memories with them. Why am I not doing it now? Because I have to make a living for myself, and I don't know when I'm gonna die. So the living has to be outside of the Eastern Cape and be where I am right now. So, and then the next question says, what does friendship mean to you? To me, friendship means loyalty and someone who's there for you when you need them the most, and you and them being there for you when you need them the most. What did I say? Someone to be there for you when you need them the most, and you to be there for them when they need you the most. Yeah, that's what friendship means to me. Having a shoulder to lean on, someone who's always there to just give it to you the way it's supposed to be. No sugarcoating, no, lying, or just trying to be a kiss up, but just like be honest, loyal, truthful, supportive, all that. That's what friendship means to me. And what roles do love and affection play in your life? What love and affection plays the role of love and affection. I'm not sure if I understand this question. And then number 10 says, alternate sharing something you consider a positive characteristic of your partner. Share a total of 5 items. 5 positive characteristics about you. I would say most of my subscribers are very logical thinkers. I like that about you. You're logical thinkers. You are open-minded. You're always willing to learn, and you're very supportive. You're very, very supportive, and you. Well, I don't know how to put this. I'm a Xhosa speaking person, so I'm just trying to look for an English word that actually because I'm trying to think. You're very supportive. I would say that. So those are my 5 ones. What are the 5 ones that you could say about me based on you watching my videos and based on just seeing you on the camera? I would say these are the 5 things that you see where you have. But if I were to think about my family and friends and what they would say about me, I would say they would say I'm loyal. I'm very loyal. I am truthful. By truthful, I mean I'm not a fake human being. That those people who are very fake around people, with me, what you see is what you get. I don't pretend for people. You know what I mean? You know, those people are like, oh my gosh, you look so amazing. And then they turn around the corner and talk to other people. Oh my god, you look horrible. They look horrible. I'm not one of those people. If you look horrible, I'm going to be like, yeah, maybe we should do that and change that. But I would say it in a nice way because I don't like going behind people's back. So that's why I'm saying I'm truthful, if that makes any sense. I'm a person of integrity, basically. Integrity. The third one, they would say I'm very family oriented. I'm very hungry. My stomach is growling. I'm very much family oriented. They would say I'm socially awkward. Or they might say I'm peculiar. Socially awkward or peculiar. What I mean by that is I make whispering videos on the internet. Others might find that very peculiar. And I'm socially awkward. I can talk to you on the camera, but when I meet people, I'm like, what do I say? What do you talk about? It takes me that those people that I vibe like that with, despite me meeting them for the very first time. So it takes me having people that I vibe with to just be myself around them. Otherwise, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do around people I don't know. But there could be people that I meet for the very first time, but I'm just like, but with other people, it takes me like 100 years before I open up to them. So yeah. And then number 5, they would say I'm an outside of the box thinker. Even with my channel, I was like, you know what? The ASMR artists, they just talk whispering videos. But what is something new that I would be bringing to the table? And it was like, oh, I can whisper about my continent. That was me, thinking outside of the box. I did something, in my opinion, that no one in the ASMR community has done that before, because I thought outside of the box to bring something different, to bring something new that only I could bring, which is what I am bringing, because I thought outside of the box. If that makes any sense. Does it? Okay. And then, how close and warm is your family? Do you feel your childhood was happier than most other people's? My family, I feel like I'm in Fast and Furious right now. It's all about family. All about family, baby. Family is all I have. Family is my everything. So, yeah, we're very close and very warm and a very loving family. I love that about my family. And do you feel like your childhood was happier than most? Definitely. I have a lot of great childhood memories. Absolutely. I would say my childhood was happier than others. But I'm just reminded of this awkward childhood memory that still lingers in the back of my mind. It's not a happy childhood memory though. It was just like a wake-up call for me, like a wake-up moment. What had happened was cousin sister of mine. This naughty cousin sister of mine comes with me to me. Like, we stayed together in my household with my parents, so that she could get educated in that town that we were getting education in, because the one that her mother worked in, the education was. So we went together to the same school, and so she practically was my sister, despite us being cousins, right? So now it's December season, and she was such, I would say, other people would call it street smart. She was very street smart from a very young age, but I wouldn't call it street smart. I would say she was a liar. She was a liar. Because now that I think about it, she grew up to be a liar. And she's lied about a lot of big things. I'm like, why is she such a liar? Lying was in her blood ever since we were kids. So she comes to me and my little sister, and then she says, hey guys, like she was looking in the cupboard, right? And then she saw the sweets. She took the sweets and went in our front yard and spread the sweets there, there. And then she comes to us, we're inside, and she says, guess what, guys? Ipanoi is nethisile isweet. Bendiphandle. Ndathi panoi uzoniphathela isweet nebiscuits netona. Yasiwisa sicole baphandle mazame ndizochola. Let me translate that to you. In our culture, Black South African culture, if you see an aeroplane, passing by your house, as kids, you would yell and say, aeroplane, please bring me sweets, biscuits, cake. You mention all the nice things that you can possibly think of, like asking the aeroplane to please drop sweets and biscuits and whatnot. I don't know where that came from, but every kid would do it. So every time an aeroplane drives by, but at least sweets and biscuits, we would always say that. So now she saw the sweets that were for Christmas in the cabinet, and then she took them and spread them outside, and we didn't see her doing that. And then she comes back to us in the house, to me and my little sister, and says, guess what, guys? The Panoi, the aeroplane, finally did it. It dropped the sweets that we want. They're outside. Let's come and pick up the sweets. We ran, like, oh my God, it finally happened. We're busy opening the sweets. We're eating them. We're like so full from the sweets. And then now it's Christmas time. And then my mom is looking in the kitchen cabinet to prepare for Christmas. The sweets are not there. She's like, what happened to the Christmas sweets? Did I put them somewhere else? Did I hide them somewhere else? And I'm saying to my mom, that's funny, because the aeroplane dropped a lot of sweets for us the other day, and we got full from all those sweets. If we knew, you probably would have never remembered where you put the sweets, or you've misplaced them. We probably would have saved some of the sweets we ate, the other day from the aeroplane. My mom says, say what now? And then I repeat myself. It's like, who who ate those sweets? And like me, my sister, my cousin, she's like, okay, call them here. All of you come here. And then we come, pulls up the switch. We got it for Christmas. In my mind, I'm thinking, we really have sweets that are drained from the aeroplane. But my sister question on the second set says, how do you feel about your relationship with your mother? Oh my gosh, I love my mother. Amazing relationship. We call each other any time of the day or night and just talk about anything and everything. We laugh together. Amazing. Love my mom. And one thing that my mom has that I always admired about her, my mother is the most emotionally stable human being I know. She is so calm and collected. And to her, it comes naturally that those people are calm and collected, not because they're calm and collected, but just because they are trying to gaslight you. For example, let's say you're in an aeroplane and then you're reporting something like they would do in the movies. That would say, like, sir, calm down. Ma'am, calm down. Like, I am calm. Okay, I said calm down, ma'am. No, I hate those kind of people because they're gaslighting. My mom is so calm. My mom knows how to solve conflicts like this. I wish I learned from her when it comes to that. Just to be calm and collected. Don't let your emotions overwhelm you. Don't let your emotion overcome you. Don't do anything that you're gonna regret later on based on your emotions. So that's something I had to learn from my mom. My mom is so emotionally stable, so calm and collected, and because of that, she knows how to solve conflicts and whatnot. And there's so many people who go to her because of that quality. Everyone can see that quality in her. There's so many people who always go to her seeking for advice. Like, please help me with this. Like all over our community, people always seek advice from my mom because she is just like that. I love that about her. I know that if I were to call somebody, if I need a logical thinker and someone who's calm and collected, who's gonna make a decision not based on emotion, but based on logic, I know I can always go to my mom for that. Love it. Now it is time to move to the third set of questions. The first one says, make the through-we statement each. For instance, we are both in a room feeling. We are both in a room feeling sleepy. We are both in a room feeling vulnerable. We are both in a room wondering, what's the next question going to be? And what am I going to say as my answer to that question? And then the second one says, complete this sentence. I wish I had someone with whom I could share life with. I wish I had someone with whom I could share life with. I have my family that I share my life with, and I'm very happy, making the memories that I'm making by myself, but I wish I did have someone that I could share my life with. And then the next question is, if you were going to become a close friend with your partner, please share what you would like to. Let me repeat that. If you were going to become a close friend with your partner, please share what would be important for him or her to know. What would be important for him or her to know? What would be important for him or her to know? For me is that treat others as you would like them to treat you. That's very important. Very important. I considerate. Think about others. That's why I'm like, do unto others as you would like them to do unto you. So yeah. Okay. Question number 4. Tell your partner what you like about them. Be very honest this time, saying things that you might not say to someone you've just met. So, what do I like about them? I love about you that you are not toxic. You are not toxic. The internet is a very volatile and toxic place at time. And what I like about the ASMR community in general is that it's not a toxic community. And what I like about my subscribers and the people who watch my content is that they are not toxic people. I absolutely love that about you guys. There are people who are scared to start YouTube channels or any social media platforms because of how toxic and volatile it is. But I'm always, always grateful for the fact that you're not that. So yeah, that's my honest take on you. And then number 5, share with your partner an embarrassing moment in your life. Do I have to? Others might say this is embarrassing, but for me it's not. It's honestly not embarrassing. To me, it's just one of those like, what the hell just happened moment. But others might say it's embarrassing. And I'm contemplating on whether I should tell you or not. Let me look at the time to see if I have enough time to tell you this story. I'm just gonna try to make it short, sweet, and simple. In Xhosa, if I were to make it simple, I would say the most embarrassing moment in my life is the fact that ndisemncinci ndabethwa ligeza. Now, let me try to say that in English. But in English, I would have to explain everything, so it's gonna be a doozy. So, at school, in our schools in South Africa, after school, it is our responsibility as the kids to clean our school and our classrooms. We don't have janitors, as I would see in Disney movies. So we mop, we sweep, we clean our school ourselves. So each and every single classroom has a roster of who's gonna be cleaning the classroom each day of the week. So I would clean a classroom on one day of the week, and then another group of students cleans it one day of the week. You know, we join together to clean one side of the week. So on this day, I was cleaning the classroom. I was still in primary school, so my sister, we would go back to school, back home together. But when it is time for us to clean our classrooms, she would usually leave me, and I would go by myself. She would go with her friends. My sister did not have any issue making friends, made friends with everybody, but I, on the other hand, couldn't make friends. So after cleaning the classroom this time around, because it's my time and my sister had gone back home with her friends, I was done and I was on my way back home, but it was so hot, and my dad would usually give us money, pocket money, to bring at school, but at the same time we would get lunch from home, a lunch box. So we would not really spend the money at school because we had lunch boxes. So this one time, as I was coming back from school, I was like, it's so hot. You know what? Let me stop by Boxer Superstore, which is this other supermarket that sells food. And I was like, let me just get a Bebo. I love me a good, juicy Bebo. A Bebo is a juice that was ice cold. It was ice cold, but it's still liquid, but it was ice cold. It actually cools you down when it's hot. It's made for kids. So I decided to stop by Boxer Superstore to get myself a Bebo using the pocket money as I usually do when it's time to sweep at school. So usually when you enter at Boxer Superstore, there's a table and newspapers on top of the table that you take with the sale, and you'd go through the papers. And I would take the paper because it's awkward walking to the fridges to get the paper. So just to make it less awkward, I would take the newspaper and browse through it as I'm walking to the paper section. So this time around, as I'm going after sweeping, and I'm seeing that the newspapers are outside the veranda as you're going inside the Boxer Superstores, and they're down there, not on the table. And I'm like, why are the newspapers here? But anyway, I didn't pay much attention to it. I grabbed the newspaper that was down there outside the veranda. Then I entered inside the veranda as I'm walking. And I was like, wait a minute, there are more on top of the table. But I took the one that was outside the veranda. Okay, anyway, I continued walking, browsing through my newspaper, go there, get my people, pay for my people. I'm going out now, open my people, put in the straw, sucking in my people, and go outside the veranda. And as I go outside the veranda, there was this mentally disturbed man, and from our entire town in South Africa, most people who are mentally disturbed and walking around the street, they are very fit, very strong, muscular, having a six-pack, very, very strong man. So as I'm walking, this mentally disturbed man who walks behind me, everybody knows him from the town, and everybody knows that he's mentally disturbed. Nobody comes close to him or says anything besides his actual family when they are cleaning him up. So he comes to me, grabs me on my behind, by the uniform, on my neck, and say, hey, why did you take my newspaper? Why did you take my newspaper? And I was like, oh. So that's, yeah, he took the newspapers there and put them there. And I was like, I'm sorry. And then he said, put it back, as he's still holding me. I'm shaking. I had put it here, on my arm as I'm sucking on my people. I'm shaking. As I'm putting it back, my people spills on the newspaper, and then I put it back. He gets so angry, and he says, that's not how it was. He grabs me as he was holding me. He throws me up in the air. I was super skinny. And he throws me up in the air, which was not a difficult task for him to do. And then I'm like, this is not bad. Actually feels good. Feels like I'm on a swing. And as I'm coming back on the ground, he kicks me as he is kicking a soccer ball on my bum. And then I fall flat on the tar road on my bum. And then I immediately get up and I'm touching my bum. It's so painful because it's all bones. My bum is all bones, and I'm touching my bum. And I'm trying to walk away and run away. As I was on the air, as he was kicking me, one of my shoes fell out. Now I'm trying to run away, touching my bum. And the cars on the road had stopped. People around in the veranda were going to Boxer Superstore, and some were eating. There were chairs at Boxer Superstore. People would normally eat there on the chairs from a fish and chips that was close to Boxer Superstore. A lady who was sitting there is like, are you okay? What? I had to start my camera. I think I'm too, the story is too long. Let me just cut it short. And when I answer these other questions, I should be straightforward. Maybe you are invested in the story, so I have to now carry on with it. And the lady was like, what happened? Are you okay? Why did he do that to you? But nobody did anything to him. He's mentally disturbed, so no one could check him, He continued about his life, and then he went on to grab my people on the floor and started, sipping on my people, and looked back at me, continued sipping everybody at home the story. Everybody was laughing at me. My sisters were laughing at me. My mom was like, oh my God, my poor child, are you okay? That's bad. And then she started, I started like showing her my bum. It was all green. My bum was green and swollen, and then she had to use like an ointment to just nurse my bum. It was sad, but my sisters were like, that's embarrassing. That's so embarrassing. They were laughing. But my mom was like, oh shame, my poor child. So yeah, I would say others could say that's embarrassing, being beaten up by a mentally disturbed person who just walks around the street, who happens to be homeless. And I would say it was like, what is happening moment for me. Like, what just happened? What is happening, Yeah. Now, let's move on to the next question. The next question, it says, when did you last cry in front of another person and by yourself? I mean, technically, it was just now when I was answering one of the other questions. And I don't want to think about it. Let's just move on. I cried in front of you in a way, and I was crying to myself in a way because, I'm just me and the camera right now, and you're gonna see it. Yeah. The next question says, tell your partner something that you love about them already. I think this question comes in so many different forms. I told you guys that I love how tight-knit and, non-toxic you are. I think I've answered that. What do you guys love about me? And then the next one says, what if anything is too serious to be joked about? I would say I don't like people who joke at the expense of others. If you're making a joke, that joke should be about you. Joke about yourself. Don't joke about other people. I hate that. I hate people who joke about other people. And I was somewhere. Oh my God, this is going to be a long story and I don't want it to be long. But there was someone, I was somewhere and I was eating dinner and I was sitting by myself. And before, I was inviting this place, the hotel rooms, everybody sleeps there. And then I was going to the cafeteria area? Shh. I was eating by myself, but before, on the other days, I would bring earphones so that I could eat by myself. I don't want to talk to people, that's why. So this day, I was like, you know what? I forgot my earphones, and I was like, should I go back, fetch my earphones? I was like, you know what, Siviwe, just make friends, talk to people. Maybe it's a good sign that you forgot your earphones. Just make it an opportunity to talk to other people. And as I was sitting, eating by myself, these two men, come up to me. They were like, is the seat taken? And I was like, no, actually, you can have a seat. One of them was my age group. One of them was the age group of my parents. So they ask me what's my name, and I tell them my name. They ask me what's my surname, and I said I don't feel comfortable telling them my surname. And then the man, who's the same age group as my parents, asked me, why is it that I don't want to tell them my last name? Is it because I know that he laid down with my mom, and as a result, I'm his child, so that's why? And I said, he should stop saying that. That's not funny. He does not know my mom. And that's not funny. He said, no, it was just a joke. It's nothing serious. But it was such a long story. But I'm just knows his surname? Is it because there was this lawyer who apparently is reported here in South Africa for an SA related case where like some of his employees were saying that he made advances towards them, and some people are arguing that he's being falsified, like false accusing. Some people are false accusing him of that, and I don't know who that lawyer is. So this person is like, is it because of you are one of so-and-so's victims, mentions this name of this lawyer. And I'm saying, who's that? They were like, do you watch the news? And I'm like, yeah, I do watch the news. And then the other guy who's the same age group as mine is like, no, this one, she looks like she's a baddie. She looks like she's a baddie. She looks like she's into social media, not like current affairs or important or serious matters. So she looks like an airhead. She doesn't look like she would know something about that. She doesn't watch the news, because if she did, she would have known about this lawyer. And I was offended by that. And the other guy said, I was like, what did he do? And then he explained the story that I'm explaining to you right now. And he's like, so are you one of his false accusers? Are you falsifying his accusations? Once again, that was offensive. You don't know me. SA is a serious issue. No one should falsify that. And also, you don't know about these women. And for you to actually say that about me, not knowing me, you calling me a liar, you're saying that you laid down with my mom, and you also swayed at me via surname. I was like, this is like, and I was like, started looking for empty tables so that I could go sit by myself. I was like, yeah, I have to leave. And then I picked up my plate. It was like, they said, why? And I said, because you're offending me. You don't know my mom. You don't know me. And you're being disrespectful. They're like, no, we're just joking. And I was like, if you joke at the expense of you, not others. Don't joke about your mother. Joke about you being falsely accusing someone of SA, not me. You don't know me. You don't know my family. Stop it. They were like, okay, we're sorry. And since we found you in this table, we are going to leave you. And then they left me in the same table. I was like, this is why I don't talk to people. This is why. So when it comes to joke about yourself, not about others and their families. Like, stop it, man. What if I said he's the one? Like, stop it. Don't joke about other people. Joke about yourself. Even thinking about it still aggravates me. So yeah, that's it. Oh my God, why are these questions always about death? Another one. If you were to die this evening with no opportunity to communicate with anyone, what would you regret not having told someone? What haven't you told them yet? I'm a straight shooter, pow pow, in the words of Wendy Williams. So everything I want people to know, they know. I always make it a point that I always tell people the truth, and I tell them what's on my mind, because I don't want to live a life of regret. And I say, I wish I did that. I wish I did that. But one thing that I wish I could say is one last chance to tell my loved ones that I love them, as much as they know I love them, and I tell them every now and then that I love them. There's always that thing that makes you feel like you don't say it enough. So it would be that, but not that I regret it, because they know that I love them, and I do tell them that I love them. But if anything would happen, I'm like, I wish I told them one last time, you know what I mean? So yeah, the next question says, your house containing everything you own catches fire. After saving your loved ones and pets, you have time to safely make a final dash to save any one item. What would it be and why? I'm trying to be so fast because this video is way too long as it is. What would I save? I would save my wallet. I would save my wallet. Reason being, my wallet contains my life, basically. My IDs, my cards, everything. And if it's there, that means I would have to go to the, Home Affairs to make a new ID. You have to go to the bank to make new bank cards, sit in the queue, and then you get to the front of the line parents, because my parents are my everything. I love them so much, and I know for a fact that my parents are the people who love and loved me most in this whole entire world. So that's why they love me so much, and I love them so much. Yeah, that's why. And the last and final question, finally, oh my god, I've been babbling for the longest time ever. The last question says, share a personal problem and ask your partner's advice on how he or she might handle it. Also, as your partner, I think it's meant to be, ask your partner to reflect back to how you seem to be feeling about the problem you have chosen. I would say my problem is I am socially awkward and I would love to make more friends, but for now I do have people that I know. If I want to do this, I know who to do it with. For example, if I want to go hiking, I know who to call that I could go hiking with. If I want to go grab dinner in a nice fancy hotel and I want to go with somebody besides going by myself, I know who to call to do that. But I would love to make friends who are into everything that I'm into here where I am right now, because everyone is like into just one thing. But back at home, my best friend is into everything that I'm into, and I would love to make a friend that is into everything that I'm into here. Not everything, but almost everything. So my question is, how do I make friends in a way that isn't draining every time I go out to interact with people? Just like the restaurant case story that I told you about, it's always like people who are like, ew. They always like do like disturbing things. We're not in the same level mentally. So how should I go about this without, feeling drained after doing it, and then having the mission not be accomplished of doing it? Do I go about it in a natural way? But for now, how I do things is that if I go hiking and I make a friend hiking, then that's the thing that connects us. And yeah, for example, with the hiking friend, they are into fitness and everything. They are my neighbor. They stopped being my neighbor now. They bought an apartment, but they bought it down the street. They're still in the same street as me, but when they were still staying in the same building as me, we would greet each other as we're going up the lift. I'm like, hey neighbor, wait, what are you up to? And then they were like, I was like hiking, or I was like mountain biking, or something like that. I was like, oh my gosh, I love hiking. They were like, really, we should go hiking together sometime. And then that's how I ended up hiking with them. And the other one, how I found out was they were looking nice the other day going out. I was like, oh my gosh, you look so nice. Where are you going? They're like, oh my gosh, I'm going out. I'm taking myself out eating. I was like, oh my gosh, I love doing that sometimes as well. I sometimes just dress nice and take myself out on a date. They're like, really? There's so many places I want to try out, and it would be great to go out with somebody. We should go together. I'm like, oh my god, really? Awesome, we should go together. And that's how I went out with them. And some of the outdoors videos that vlogs that I've made going out places, those are the places that I've gone out with them. So yeah, and the ones where you've seen me hiking, I've gone with my hiking buddy on those as well. So I have different people for different vibes. And then in academia or in corporate, I have friends that I've met at conferences, and they're like, oh my god, this conference is going to happen, you should definitely go attend that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'll definitely do that. Then I've met one, and like, oh my gosh, there's this business that's doing that, if you're interested. So I have a friend who does that with me as well. But I would love friends who are into almost everything I'm into. But how do I go about it? Now tell me, how did I answer that question? How asking you. Let me know. And that concludes today's video. I hope I didn't overshare. And when I'm editing, I'm gonna be like, why did I say that? Should I cut that out of the video? And if I felt like cutting it out, it would be awkward because I was answering the question. If I cut it out, then how am I going to go about in the video? So what you see is going to be what you get, as awkward as it is. But before the video, once again, be reminded of the fact that we listen and we don't judge. And this video was love themed because of Valentine's Day. So I hope you enjoyed watching it and everything. Tell me, answer some of these questions that you find interesting and you would like to let me know based on watching my videos, so that I could see like similarities and differences based on how you guys perceive me from the internet, how you guys compare to each other as you're answering these questions for me, and how you guys are similar or different to my family and friends. You know, because I've once mentioned that what you see is what you get. Now I just want to see, is it really? So yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. Let me get my rose and say, ulale kakuhle, uphole kakuhle, usole kakuhle, nokuba yintoni, nantoni, oyenzayo, nditha nawe, uyenze kakuhle. And that what means is good night, sleep tight, sweet dreams, and whatever it is that you do. I hope that you flourish. I will catch you on the next one. For now, all I can say is the word of the day. These are words of encouragement to carry you throughout the week, and we're going to be getting them in the book of 1 John chapter 4 verse 8, and they read, whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love. In the month of love, I just want you to be reminded of loving one another, respecting one another, because whoever doesn't know love doesn't know God, because God himself is what? Is love. So love should not be limited to Feb, but throughout the entire year, because you're filled with God.